Your grandmother's bread went stale in 3 days. It was flour, water, salt, and yeast. 4 ingredients. It molded in a week because that is what real food does. Now go look at the loaf in your kitchen, the one you use for your kids' school lunches every morning. Count the ingredients on the back. If you bought it at a grocery store, you are looking at 20 to 30 chemical names. One of them is used to make yoga mats. Another one is classified as a possible carcinogen by the World Health Organization. When a truck carrying one of those ingredients overturned on an Illinois highway, officials evacuated everyone within a half-mile. You packed it in your child's lunchbox this morning. Today, we are breaking down the 2 chemicals hiding in American bread that are banned in the European Union, banned in Canada, banned in the United Kingdom, banned in India, banned in Brazil, and still classified as safe by the Food and Drug Administration. We are going to show you how the biggest bread companies in America use these chemicals to sell you a loaf full of air at premium prices. We are also going to give you the only 3 brands still making bread with real ingredients. A French baguette has 4 ingredients. Your sandwich bread has 30. By the end of this video, you will know what the other 26 are for. You will not like the answer. There are 2 ingredients in American bread that tell the entire story. The first is potassium bromate. It is a dough conditioner. It makes bread rise higher, bake faster, and turn whiter. The industry calls it relatively cheap and very effective. The Environmental Working Group found it in over 200 products on American shelves. The European Union banned potassium bromate over 3 decades ago because it causes tumors in lab animals. The International Agency for Research on Cancer, part of the World Health Organization, classified it as a Category 2B carcinogen, possibly carcinogenic to humans. It has been linked to kidney tumors, thyroid tumors, and peritoneal mesotheliomas. Over 30 countries pulled it from their food supply. The Food and Drug Administration has not reassessed it since 1973, over 50 years without a review. The industry says it converts to a harmless compound during baking. United Kingdom researchers tested finished loaves and found unconverted bromate in 6 of 6 unwrapped breads. The chemical survived the oven. It is in the bread you eat. Now the second ingredient, azodicarbonamide. The industry calls it a dough conditioner. Everyone else calls it the yoga mat chemical, an industrial foaming agent used to blow air into plastics. Shoe soles, flip-flops, foam insulation. When baked, it breaks down into semicarbazide. The European Union banned it in 2005 specifically because semicarbazide is carcinogenic in lab animals. Here is what these chemicals do inside your body. Potassium bromate is an oxidizing agent. When residual bromate survives the oven, it generates reactive oxygen species, molecules that attack your cells. They damage your DNA. The mechanism is well documented, and that is why the World Health Organization flagged it. Semicarbazide from the yoga mat chemical interferes with cellular replication. Your gut absorbs both compounds every time you eat a slice, every sandwich you make for your kids before school, every piece of toast at breakfast. The exposure is daily. The risk is cumulative. Your grandmother's bread went stale because it was real food. Your bread stays soft for 2 weeks because it is a chemistry experiment. Your body knows the difference. But these chemicals did not end up in your bread by accident. The companies that make your bread chose to put them there. Here is why azodicarbonamide is so valuable to the bread industry. It is a foaming agent. In plastics, it pumps air into rubber to make it expand. In bread, it does the same thing. It inflates the dough, creating a loaf that looks twice the size on the shelf while containing less actual food per slice. A traditional European loaf ferments for 12 to 72 hours to develop structure and flavor. That costs time. Time costs money. Azodicarbonamide lets manufacturers skip fermentation and go from dry ingredients to bagged bread in under 2 hours. Faster production, bigger-looking loaves, lower cost per unit. The Environmental Working Group, EWG, found azodicarbonamide in nearly 500 American food products across 130 brands. Sara Lee. Wonder Bread, Pillsbury, McDonald's, Starbucks. These companies know it is banned in Europe. They use it anyway because it saves them pennies per loaf, and those pennies multiply across millions of units per quarter. Now think about what you are actually paying for. $4 to $5 for a loaf of sandwich bread. A significant portion of that volume is AIR, pumped in by an industrial foaming agent also used to manufacture yoga mats. You are paying bread prices for inflated chemical foam. The loaf looks full. It weighs almost nothing. That is not a baking technique. That is a magic trick. This is not a quality control issue. This is a boardroom decision. These corporations chose a 2-hour chemical process over a 12-hour natural fermentation because it is cheaper. Your family's health was not part of the equation. The production margin was. And the regulators who are supposed to stop this? They built the loophole that makes it legal. The FDA allows companies to self-certify ingredients as generally recognized as safe, known as GRAS. The company selling you the ingredient is the same company telling you it is safe. No independent review. Potassium bromate was on the market before the Food Additive Amendments of 1958. Grandfathered in, never required to pass modern safety standards. It has been in your bread for over 60 years, on a classification it received before humans walked on the moon. The European Union operates on the precautionary principle. If there is uncertainty, the ingredient stays out. The United States operates on the opposite. An ingredient is allowed unless it is definitively proven to kill you. The EU bans first. The FDA waits for bodies. Professor Eric Millstone, food additives expert at the University of Sussex, told CBS News that regulatory differences between the US and the EU likely result in cancer cases in America that would have been preventable in Europe. Most Americans assume if it is on the shelf, it is fine. It is not fine. 30 countries disagree. California banned potassium bromate in 2023, with the ban taking effect in 2027. One state doing what the EU did over 30 years ago. That should tell you everything about who is protecting you at the federal level. Quick question. Go look at the bread in your kitchen right now. How many ingredients are listed on the back? If it is more than 6, drop that number in the comments. So if most grocery store bread is an inflated chemistry experiment, what can you actually eat? The buying framework is simple. Count the ingredients. More than 5 or 6 means dough conditioners and preservatives. Scan for the red flags: no potassium bromate, no azodicarbonamide, no DATEM, no calcium propanate. Look for unbleached flour. One word that tells you more than anything on the front of the package. And check the shelf life. If it does not go stale in 3 days, ask yourself what is keeping it soft. The answer is on the label. 3 brands that pass. Dave's Killer Bread. Widely available, organic, no artificial preservatives or dough conditioners. Easiest swap for most families. Ezekiel 4:9 by Food for Life. Sprouted grain bread, no flour at all. Made from sprouted whole grains and legumes. Found in the freezer section. Local bakery sourdough. Any bakery that can tell you the ingredients from memory, flour, water, salt, starter, and bakes fresh daily. And the ultimate answer, bake your own. Real bread is flour, water, salt, and thyme. Everything else on the label exists to make it cheaper for them, not better for you. Stop buying bread that does not go stale. Stop feeding your family ingredients banned in 30 countries. Read the back of the bag. Count the ingredients. If your great-grandmother would not recognize them, neither does your body. Everything else is there to make it cheaper, faster, and bigger looking. You deserve better than a yoga mat in a bag. Subscribe. Next week we are covering American chicken, and what they are injecting into the meat before it reaches your grocery store is even worse.